we can't forget that winter sports is already started. The practices are underway, and our schedule will certainly be getting underway pretty soon as well. Let's show you the first set of games that we have for you here to release on the channel, and we're super excited to really get into the whole schedule for you, but it will start with boys basketball, and we have 9 of those games for you on the channel. We'll get kicked off with a doubleheader actually on Monday, December 18th, as Warwick boys will host Manheim Township. The girls game will happen before that. And then later that week, on Friday before Christmas, we'll have the Backyard Brawl, Ephrata-Cocalico doubleheader as well. Boys will be up at 6:30. So many other games to keep an eye on there. Tons of Warwick, tons of Manheim Central, tons of Ephrata-Cocalico mixed in. It's going to be a great season, guys. Eric, you'll be on the call for us for many of those games. How are you feeling? What's the excitement level as you're going to have to transition very quickly from football to basketball?
Yeah. In fact, I think a couple of years ago, it was, a week and a half from football to basketball season. So we had to, quickly shift gears, but that's good. I'm fine with that because that means a football program was very successful and went very deep. First of all, let me just say, I love these girls-boys doubleheaders. I really wish more schools would do this because it gives parents and the student body a chance to stay at one gym and root for the girls and the boys teams. There's nothing like them, especially when you get like what we have, a township Warwick doubleheader, or you get an Ephrata Warwick or an Ephrata-Cocalico doubleheader. Love them. It's the first thing I looked at was Warwick, and they're going to have everybody back. So I'm sure expectations are really high in Lidditz. Seth Sigmund up at Cocalico had a very competitive team last year, and he had to wait till some of his football players made that transition from football to basketball. It's going to be the same thing again this year, regardless of what happens Friday night with Cocalico. To go from one sport to the next, it's going to take a little time to get adjusted to that new sport. And then Ephrata has been much more competitive, making runs. So I just think excitement everywhere in the Blue Ridge area for both boys and girls is going to be high. Now, granted, I'll admit I haven't even dove or touched basketball information yet, but I'll have to make that quick transition. Yeah. So I'll be ready.
Yeah,
I'll be ready and looking forward to every minute of it.
You're going to have about a week because we're going to December 1st, we will be done officially regardless of what happens because we can't cover the state finals. And then I think December 11th is our first girls game. So you'll have about a week to get yourself, calmed down and then revived back up. Tim Reedy will be joining me for our girls basketball games this year, and we're excited about that. Of course, we don't have the major studs like a Maddie Nyer or a Jasmine Griffin this year, but we are certainly excited about what we're going to get, and we can show you the games that are on the schedule this year for that. As we're going to have a handful as well. As you can see them there, we'll kick things off for our entire winter sports schedule Monday, December 11th, as Warwick girls will host Penn Manor. And we will have plenty more. Ephrata, you see there, hosting Garden Spot. And then, as I said, those 2 double headers, the Warwick Township, the Ephrata-Cocalico in December. It's going to be a great start to December. And then, as you can see, we go on there, plenty of Cocalico, Manheim, Warwick, and Ephrata. In fact, in that last week, we'll have Warwick at Ephrata girls on the 5th or 6th, and then on the 8th we'll have Warwick boys hosting Manheim boys to wrap up the regular season before we get to the playoffs. So Tim, what are you looking forward to here? We're ready to go. I haven't even really touched basketball yet either, but I know we'll transition very quickly.
Well, the first thing, Chad, I'm looking forward to being your color guy again. I think you do a great job, and I love covering girls sports and girls basketball. Number 2, I'll echo what Eric said. I love those boys girls double headers because so often you don't get a chance, like Eric said, parents, family, friends don't get a chance to see the boys or the girls. And number 3, I am always just amazed at how quickly the schedule and the season goes. You look at football, they start practicing the second week of August, really, with the heat acclimation. And now here we're at the into Thanksgiving. Basketball, man, Eric, you know this. There's such a small window. Really, it gets heated up the first week of January when you've got those 3 games a week. And suddenly by the first week of February, you're like, where'd the season go? And I'm reminded a couple of years ago of the effort of girls and what a great season they had at the second part of it, but they never qualified for districts because they didn't play well in December. And I'm just giving everybody a heads up now. Look, there's early games in December. People say, well, we'll just sort of forget about them. They could be, practice games. They count toward those district points, just like a game in late January. So just like us, it takes us a little bit of time, to go from football, volleyball into basketball. And I think it takes a long time for those players too, Eric, to go from one sport to the other.
Yeah, we're going to see it here very soon. I'm so excited, and we have a packed schedule for everybody. So excited for that, including, got to show you, can't forget, the wrestling matches that are coming up on the channel. And I'll be once again doing that with Jan Minnick as we'll get in there December. Calico is going to host Elizabethtown. And then in January, Ephrata and Manheim Central will have a little bit of a tussle there. We'll be doing the league championships once again, Saturday, January 27th. Haven't heard how the girls wrestling is going to factor into that because I know that's a new thing in Pennsylvania this year. We'll see what those details are. And then in the end of January, Warwick at Ephrata and Warwick hosting Manheim Central. So going to be back on that beat again with Jan Minnick. He's excited, I'm excited, and we should have a lot of fun with that as well. Tim.
Hey, Chad, just a quick comment. People, if you don't know wrestling, I really encourage you to tune into those wrestling matches with Chad and Jan. First of all, Jan Minnick, he is a character. He gets so excited about wrestling. However, but he also knows wrestling. Like, I guarantee you guys, if you're not into wrestling, you don't know a lot about it, tune in and watch because he will educate you. And if you want to learn a lot, as I said, watch wrestling here on the channel because it is something with when Jan Minnick gets excited when there's pins, there is nothing like it.
It's hard to contain him sometimes. He gets out of control. He gets so excited. But yeah, no, we have a lot of fun, and he is ready to go. So, and we will be there before you know it. All right, that's the winter sports schedule. It'll be up on the website, brc11.com, so you can check it there to see when everything is happening. We'll be tweeting out all kinds of reminders and all of that happening in December.